So let's talk about something big today. What is our ultimate destination in life? It's a huge question, I know. We're going to explore it using a couple of really powerful stories, one that feels very modern and another that's ancient, and they both challenge us to think about, what the whole point of this journey really is.
Okay, to get us started, I want you to just imagine something. Picture yourself on an airplane, cruising way up there at 30,000 feet. You're settled in, totally removed from all the chaos of the world down below.
And hey, this isn't just any flight, it's a great flight. The service, top-notch. The food is actually delicious, which, is a rare thing. And you look around and everyone just seems happy and content. Everything feels perfect.
But then, you hear that little chime. The captain's voice comes on the intercom, but this time, the tone feels off. You can just tell something isn't right.
And the announcement is just stunning. The captain says, this plane has no destination. There's literally nowhere to land. And, as if that's not bad enough, the fuel is running out. This flight, and everyone on it, is on a one-way trip to nowhere.
So let me ask you, in that exact moment, does that delicious food still matter? Does the great service bring you any comfort at all? Of course not, right? All those immediate pleasures become completely, totally meaningless when you realize there's no safe place to land.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Without a clear destination, a real purpose, all the little joys along the way start to feel pretty hollow. And this brings us to another story, one that feels a little more personal, about how this exact problem can play out in our own lives.
So in this story, a wise old man sees this very successful young man, and seeing how hard this guy works, day in and day out, he just asks him a really simple question: what is all this for? And the young man's answer is one I think we can all relate to. It's the standard blueprint for a good life, right? You work hard, you make money, you buy a nice house, you get a good car. It's all about building that comfortable, secure life.
But the old man, he's not quite satisfied with that. He pushes the timeline a little further, asking the next logical question, one we all think about sooner or later. Okay, so what's the plan for when you're old? And again, the answer makes total sense. All that hard work now is supposed to pay for a nice, peaceful retirement later. The plan seems totally solid, right? It covers all the bases for a life well lived. And then, the old man asks the final question, the one that just stops the young man cold, the one his perfectly detailed life plan completely forgot to include. And after you die? The old man's point is just devastatingly simple. The young man, and let's be honest, a lot of us, has planned everything out so perfectly. Career, house, retirement, check, check, check. But he completely ignored the one stage of life that is 100% guaranteed to happen.
Now, this is where the source we're drawing from gives this most important stage a special name. It's called the Great Matter, or Liao Sheng Tuo Si. And what it really points to is the ultimate task in life, actually confronting the reality of our own mortality and trying to find some kind of resolution for it.
There's an ancient saying that just puts it perfectly. When you compare it to this one huge, unavoidable matter of life and death, everything else, fame, money, status, it's all secondary. It's all just negotiable.
And this brings us to this really stark contrast. I mean, look at it. On one side, you have our super detailed life blueprints, career moves, mortgages, retirement funds. And on the other side, a total blank. The one great, unplanned event that makes everything else we worry about seem kind of small.
Okay, so if we accept that this is the core problem, that our plane is flying without a destination, then what's the solution? What does a path forward even look like?
The source text we're looking at here actually outlines a specific spiritual path to deal with this. It's basically a three-step approach. It all starts with making a sincere vow, a genuine wish to find an ultimate destination, which it calls the Pure Land. Then, that's followed by the practice of focused chanting, and finally a reliance on a higher power to help guide you on the way.
So, what even is this destination, this Pure Land? Well, it's described less as a physical place and more as a state of being, one that's free from all those core human anxieties, aging, getting sick, and dying. It's about reaching a state of ultimate peace, with the final goal being enlightenment and then, and this is really important, coming back to help everyone else find that same peace. This whole way of thinking leads to a pretty powerful redefinition of what wisdom even is. Conventionally, we might judge how wise or successful someone is by what they own, their wealth, their status, but this perspective offers a totally different way of measuring it. True wisdom isn't about what you have, but whether you've really grappled with life and death and found a real sense of ultimate purpose. And that really brings us to our own destination for today. The core message here is that maybe, just maybe, the purpose of life isn't found in all the fleeting enjoyments of the journey, that good meal on the plane, but in the destination itself. It's about waking up to that great matter and consciously choosing a direction. Which leaves us with one final thought for you. Have you considered where your plane is landing?